broadcasting, so at the far end of the table there.
We're live on YouTube too.
Welcome to the show,
No,
YouTube.
that's good. That's just for us to stop.
Welcome to the
Periscope.
show. Welcome to the show, Facebook. Welcome to the show, Periscope. Welcome to the show, Facebook. My name is True Powers Mind.
I'm Dimebag Darley.
This is the Other Morning Show, and what is today's date?
Today is February the 20th, 2018.
The year of our Lord. And who do we have on the True Power Lines hotline today?
Before we go into that, I want to thank all the new subscribers. The ones that've been with us since day one. Appreciate people that's been sending in stuff to the PO box and to the sending us emails and stuff. So we appreciate that.
And thank you, folks, for also sending in the proper funding and everything for the Feed the Homeless campaign that we will be doing next month. We are so thankful for you folks. You've really been supportive of the Other Morning Show and what we're trying to do as far as community change and actually helping out humanity as a whole.
That's right.
All right. So without further ado, our special guest today on the
known around St. Louis.
Yes, his name is Reverend Larry Rice. Thank you, sir, for being here.
With you.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be with you.
Thank you.
Now, would you like to share anything with the new viewers about the New Life Evangelistic Center, its history, its mission?
Oh, yes. There was a lot of publicity last year about our 1411 Locust building closing, and that was a gross immorality and injustice, and we can go into detail on that. But right now, we are alive and well. Our headquarters at 2428 Woodson Road in Oberlin, Missouri. We have teams that are out on the streets. We were put out on the streets April the 2nd, 2017, along with all the homeless people that were staying in our building, over 200 of them. And we're out there with them. We are probably the number one distributor of transportation bus passes for the homeless. We give out between here and in Springfield over 550 every week. And spend thousands of dollars on that. We're placing people in apartments and hotel rooms, trying to help homeless people. Just opened up a women's shelter in Illinois. And in addition to that, our training programs around the state continue to grow. We've been at this now for 46 years, trying to help people that are homeless to be set free from the cycle of homelessness.
Wow, that's since 1971. He's been out here in the trenches helping the people of St. Louis and all over the world, actually, with this message. My first interaction with you, sir, was when I was a young boy. I live in southern Jefferson County, just south of St. Louis, and your channel 24, used to reach us on the old rabbit ears. Through you, I actually saw Christian artists such as Carmen. You used to have a segment on your the channel there that would bring on contemporary music for the young people. And with all the garbage that was out there on all the other channels, the alphabet networks, Channel 24 was the only network there that could actually, the children could really watch that all day long without seeing sex and violence and all that nonsense. And it was a blessing to have that.
Still at it. We're still at it. We're on 24.2 right now, and everybody can carry it around on their iPhone or Android phone. It's NLEC TV. So just get that app, NLEC TV. Get it on your phone. I was watching it last night in New Bloomfield, Missouri. We have a training program. I was down in Texas last week watching it there. You can watch it all over NLEC TV, and it has, wholesome family, community, inspirational programming, and it is the number one station when it comes to keeping people up to date on the issues concerning the poor and homeless.
Yes. And another thing I liked about that channel, you had a segment about renewable energy. People can actually watch your show, learn how to make biodiesel, learn how to make solar panels or properly install them. I saw that when I saw you having that type of programming. I'm like, oh my God, that is a threat to big oil company, because we all know they want this monopoly on energy and resources to keep people in poverty.
I do programs regularly like that at 9 o'clock every night, and we also are all night long from 12 midnight to 6 a.m. It's just renewable energy all night long. People have trouble sleeping, they can be watching those shows all night, and we have over 500 of those in the can, so to speak.
Wow. Now, Real quick, I mean, we all know that St. Patrick's Center's closed, New Life Evangelistic Center's closed. So that when I used to drive for a company, I used to deliver a lot of goods in the city. I used to drive by your headquarters, the old headquarters, and I would see at 11 o'clock the homeless gathering, and I mean, women, children, men, everybody. Now that that's gone, can you just kind of go into what facilitated that? What was the real reason? Why did the city come down hard on you and not other companies that are actually like polluting the Mississippi River and things like that?
Because of something called predatory land speculation that throughout the years has resulted in tens of thousands of St. Louisans being displaced from their homes. It all started in the summer of 2012 when we saw it becoming clear that the MLEC shelter at 1411 Locust had been targeted by the developers and city officials to experience that same fate. And it's a fate that many individuals had experienced. We saw the destruction of all the SROs in downtown St. Louis. We saw the destruction of affordable housing. We saw what was going in the Mill Creek area at the time of the Tucker administration. It had become a center of African-American entertainment and commerce due to the constraints of racist real estate covenants forcing the black population in the area. And as a result, 19,700 individuals then, found themselves displaced between 1959 and 1965. Then we had the secret Team 4 development plan, which allowed services to totally deplete until they could turn it over to big, rich white developers like Paul McKee. And we saw the city of St. Louis create the first land bank in 1971 called the Land Realization Authority. And we see today that they are the biggest slumlords in not only the city of St. Louis, but all over the United States. They have the biggest land bank. And what they do is they have the right to take property to eminent domain. Local developers do through eminent domain, Missouri State Law, Chapter 92 or 353. And LRA now has like 9,000 vacant lots and 3,000 vacant buildings. And it actually costs more for the forestry department to keep all those vacant lots mowed than they actually spend on all our parks in St. Louis. So we have a real major problem right now. And they destroyed all that affordable housing. Then they targeted the 1411 Locust building, and it became a legal lynching. And I can go into some more detail on that, but that's kind of a quick summary.
So you were saying that it was a racist, a racist element in the St. Louis city government then that is kind of like, bent on this gentrification or removing the minorities, replacing them with yuppies and white folks?
So you see that. Look what they did. They shut down 1411 Locust. Rich white folks moved in the neighborhood, and let's face it, and right now, homelessness has become the new N-word in America today.
Yes.
Whatever they used to say using the N-word in the past, they can now use the word homeless.
Right.
They make it sound like all homeless people are sexual predators, that they're thieves, they're drug addicts, they're alcoholics. It's ridiculous. Anybody can lose their home at any time.
Mm-hmm.
In St. Louis, the large proportion is African American. When I go to Springfield, the large proportion is Caucasian there. But in St. Louis, it is African American and often African American male. And they don't want them, the rich developers don't want them downtown. So they require us to do plat and petition. They lock us out of the big loss. They won't let us go get the signatures in order to have a shelter. But without allowing the people in the Carr Square project to do it, they'll take the shelter from where the rich area is downtown at 1411 Locust, move it to what they call the Bill House at Carr Square, and stiff those people there, the individuals that live in Carr Square. So what they do is they infamously continue to move the homeless into poor neighborhoods, and then when the neighborhood comes up, they put them out. If revitalization actually took place in this city, according to the way Lyda Crewson and the Central West End people want to do it, so many poor people would find themselves out on the street. The whole city looked like the Central West End. They'd be destroying properties, and they'd be putting them out on the street, and that's their goal, is what they call revitalization, is gentrification, which is racist.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Even look at the I-55 when it was being built. I talked to a lot of older black folks in that, and they were saying that they basically came into their neighborhood, gave them pennies on the dollars, wiped out all, it went right through the black neighborhoods just to connect us. And we find this time and time again. When we make these the new Highway 21 was coming down through our area. And I had a friend, it was back in 1992. They made his mom sell the trailer and all this land. They had like 16 acres. All this land for basically pennies on the dollar. And they still haven't built the highway over there yet. They still haven't built it. So this thing that Reverend's talking about, taking the government taking your land, is very much real, folks.
'Cause
You
when-
know, you don't own that land. You're just got a lease on it.
Yeah, because when big money say they want it, they gonna take it. And these, because from what I get, it seems like, and I'm pretty confident that the city of St. Louis government is walking lockstep and key with big money, and they could have prevented what happened to the facility on Locust. But we all know once big money say we want this property and we want people out of there, they're gonna do it because they want a little bit of campaign money and stuff like that.
That's why you start seeing that they don't speak out that way. That's why they let Mr. Paul McKee go ahead and have 100 acres of ground. I mean, you study this, you see how crooked it is. The city of St. Louis let them have it for little or nothing. Then they turn around and buy that ground back when MGA wants to move in that neighborhood. McKee has most of the ground for millions and millions of dollars. They first gave it to them. Now they're buying it back for millions. They displaced poor people that lived in that particular neighborhood, and they destroyed affordable housing. It takes longer now than ever before if you end up homeless to find a place that you can rent. And then the city spent, God only knows how many millions of dollars, the city and the state, to try to get Amazon here. Well, look where Amazon's at. Thank God they didn't come, because if they'd have come, everybody's rent would have doubled. You can be guaranteed of that.
Oh, wow. Do you happen to know the average rent for a place in St. Louis, Missouri?
But I do know that 15,000 people a year are displaced. And, and they shut down New Life Evangelistic Center. They're taking care of 200 of them. They wouldn't give us another location to go to. And many of these people are wandering the streets right now. And in order to just even get into a place, I do know that right now hotel rooms that we could used to get when the SROs I mentioned quickly that were up and down Market Street, you could go work all day and get a room for $5. Okay, even with inflation in place, right now, it costs $250 to get into what I consider one of the cheapest hotels in downtown St. Louis, and that's the Stadium Hotel. $250 a week in order to get in there. It's $1,000 a month, but if you can only pay by a week, that's $250. But people definitely have to come up. They have to at least have a $500 deposit, $500 rent, in order to try to go move anywhere in the city of St. Louis right now.
I'm sorry, but the spirit's moving me. I want to tell the St. Louis government, the blood of the dead homeless that occurred last month when it was so bitter cold outside and they literally turned into human popsicles is on your hands. It's on your hands. I hope the money that you made from all the scheme that you're running is worth it. Because we have men, women, and children dying out here so that you can make a buck. I hope you feel good about yourself.
And they're keeping it out of the news, too. They were very embarrassed when one of our guest who was living in our place is considered his family, and he then when they put him out of the place when they closed 1411 Locust, he started living in a porta potty, and then what happened is he died in the porta potty and then there was another man that died outside in Soulard. Well, the city became very embarrassed over that. Now I don't think they attribute him to being homeless. When somebody dies out there, they'll come up with
drugs,
they had a heart attack, and they died of pneumonia, and they died of everything else. But they're trying to keep it out of the news because they were so embarrassed when that hit the news about how people were dying out there. So they've done a good job, if anything, of keeping it out of the news of the number of people dying out there.
Yeah, I mean, this is horrible.
I know cases.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know cases personally. A woman sleeping in a vacant building, and somebody from the outside came in and hit him in the head with a hammer, and the men that were in there beating him up in the school with a hammer. I mean, there's atrocious stories that we can continue to tell and see, but right now what's happened is it's totally dropped off the radar. The city of St. Louis is slow. What happens is just like this. You take a frog, you drop it in water, and gradually turn up the heat. The frog will boil, and you don't even know he's boiling.
Right.
That's what's happening to the social consciousness of people in the city of St. Louis. They've been dropped in the water. They're driving them off the streets. They shut down 1411 Locust. I mean, where's the public outcry? Where's the marches? Where's the
where is this?
This is the bigotry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because as long as it's happening to those people, the darkies, the coloreds, we don't care.
Right.
We don't care. But you know what?
So
That could be your...
you
can go, sir.
I don't even see the African American community getting enraged over this. I did see African American churches, and God bless them, that opened their doors when it got below 20 degrees, and thank God they saved lives.
Yes.
St. Peter's AME, Destiny, Transformation, those come to my mind this last winter. But, beyond that, where is the public outcry? I mean, you talk about racism, you talk about bigotry, you talk about being enslaved to the streets. We're all blind too frequently to the sins that take place in our generation. It's easy to see the sins that took place in previous generations and see the hideousness and the evil that took place then, but we're blind to the evil in our own time. Future generations are going to look back at this time, and they're going to point out this evil, and which we're totally blinded to. And we got to wake up and see what's happening right in our own backyard.
Yeah, this willful ignorance has to stop.
And it's not like we don't have the resources in this country to take care of its citizens. And it's just not, St. Louis. I've traveled, across, different places, and it's homeless everywhere. Even if you just go outside of the St. Louis city limits, go down to Jefferson County.
Come on down to Potosi.
It's a lot of homeless people down there too, and in the opioid epidemic.
We have shelters in Potosi. Yes, you're right. We get them in every night in our centers. New Life Evangelistic Center shelters in Potosi. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick. Where can people send money to if they're online? Say they're in Japan or something. They're online. They want to support the efforts of what we're doing. Where can they send some money to you at?
Well, first of all, I would encourage them to go to nlecstl.org. That's nlecstl.org. Or newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. And they can go through the PayPal system there. I would encourage them to put the NLEC TV app on their phone, if they have an iPhone, Android. And also, I would encourage them to get involved in that and recognize, because one of the things we do on NLEC TV and we do on NLECSTL.org is we bring a lot of these needy cases forward. People I meet every week, people I meet all the time. The woman that I met that was crossing a street that was homeless and was hit by a car, and her whole leg's messed up. And then what I do is I'm talking to her and I offer her a Bible, and she takes the Bible, she opens up this special pack she has, and she puts in the Bible, and then I said, that way you keep this special belongings. Then she pulls out and shows me the ashes of her 6-month-old child that was killed when she was hit by that car. I see the hurt, I see the pain, the people in the frozen homes. So we try to tell the stories there. I've even been 3 trips down to Texas after the shooting there, and I've got stories from the people that were shot and were in that church down there in Sutherland Springs, Texas, and gotten to know them. So we tell a lot of stories that the media forgets about. They cover them for a week or two. They totally forget about them. We continue to keep sharing them on NLECSTL.org.
Because thank God you're in it not for the ratings. You're in it to change people's lives.
Because this is about humanity, folks. And what I see is just like people are not even aware that humanity is a thing. They just you see a lot of homeless people out and about, and people just step right over them, go right on into Walmart.
Yeah. I gotta get my Starbucks. I don't got time.
Yep.
And the thing about it is, folks, we have to understand we're all in this together. My freedom, his freedom, Larry Rice's freedom, everybody's freedom is all together. We're not apart. I cannot go by and see my brothers and sisters suffering, whatever nationality or race they are. It doesn't matter. They're a human being. And as a human being, they belong to my family, my personal family. We are all one on this planet. And we need to start acting as if we are that.
Well, they're all made in the image of God, too. I mean, if we believe in God and we believe in that these are children of God, just because somebody's lost their home, and can lose their home at any time. And like I said, if the people in power get what they want, and they do the gentrification that they've got in mind for whether it's the city of St. Louis or whatever city you're in, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to see your rents double. Things may look pretty around there and nice there, but you don't realize that when they want you out, they'll come in and say the kids play the music a little loud, or they don't like to see teenagers in the neighborhood. They'll do the same thing to you they did to us. They'll say that you are they'll lie on you.
Yes.
And they'll go before the Board of Public Service, and they'll get signatures from people around. They'll lie and make the neighbors all upset. And before they wouldn't let you move in the neighborhood. Now what they do is make an effort to drive you out of the neighborhood, and they use legal means to do it. The legal means are set up, and then you'll end up having to spend a lot of money in courts. we've probably spent over $500,000. Now we're not through yet.
Wow.
We have a case that's pending before the Board of Public, before the Missouri Court of Appeals. It comes up in May. It's called Plat and Petition. What it means is, do your neighbors, do they have to approve how you practice your religion when it comes to direct human services?
Wow.
So we're contesting that. We have to take that to the Missouri court, all the way to the United States Supreme Court. We did everything the city wanted us to do. We fixed everything we did. We spent $40,000 on architectural fees. Now what happened is, I think the city in cahoots with the neighbors, they decided that the neighbors turned around and sued the city of St. Louis and us, saying the city wasn't hard enough on it, and they shouldn't approve our architectural plans. It gave the city the excuse now, if we spent all that they're not approving our architectural plans, so that case goes to court. We wanted to just open up for a day center like we have in Springfield, Missouri. We have 150, 250 people a day come into our center in Springfield. We help them, provide for them. But no, the bigots in the community don't want those people in the neighborhood. They want nice, clean sidewalks. They don't want to see African American people walking up and down the street that do not have money in their pocket. Now, if you've got money in your pocket, great. They love you if you're green.
Right.
If you don't got any green in your pocket, they don't want you around. And I don't care whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or who you are. If you don't have money, they want you out of sight and out of mind. You're a non-human being, and if they could get away with it, they treat you the same way that Hitler did.
Yes.
Yeah, but thank God we've still got some protection in that. But now they're just letting you die a slow death out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you noticed, ever since we had the opioid epidemic, a major increase in the homelessness, especially in the rural area?
Yeah, you have, you'll see some of that, but I saw purposely planted last December something called K2, a marijuana substitute.
Yes.
That I think was given out by those developers because they gave it out to the homeless and they were passing out on the streets and doing this and that because they want to make us look bad.
Right.
In fact, the police were telling homeless people, you can't sit in the parks here, go and camp outside a New Life. Then the day they shut us down, April 2nd, the police came and run them all off. But, you see homelessness as a result of many different things. You see the escalated rents that are taking place. You see the breakdown of the family unit. You see the cutbacks that are taking place in state and federal programs where they don't have alcohol treatment programs, mental health programs anymore. So the mentally ill end out on the street. You see the city. You see the state of Missouri when they release someone. Then what happens? And they happen to be a sex offender, and they have to check in. Well, Bill House and nobody will take them in if they're homeless.
Right.
We have a case like that. So the man ended up camping over at the river. Then he wanted to come into our program. We have a special farm that they go out and they work and they have a community and stuff out in central Missouri. We went and checked the guy in Callaway County, and they locked him up because he hadn't checked in for a long time. Well, they wouldn't let him check in. He didn't have any alternative address.
Wow.
Because Bill House and nobody will allow sex offenders in there. So he's locked back up there. We're trying to get him out now. And so these are people that might have messed up in their past, but they're trying to start all over new. And people commit crimes. They're given $5 when they're released from prison. They're sent back to the city they were locked up at and expected to go, and they're out on the street. They have nowhere to go. Now, here's what happens, and I'm holding in front of me that they started something February 12th, the great city program called the Bill House. They require a completed homeless verification letter or referral form. If you're receiving day services, you must bring in a letter from your shelter and pick up a referral form from them. Well, what happens is that if you drop a prisoner, you came in, you don't have anybody refer you there, they're not going to let you. They're not going to give you the services. So, I mean, it's a great big vicious circle. People are totally broken down, and some come to the conclusion, hey, it's better if I just commit another crime. I was taken care of when I was in the penitentiary. I'll bust out a window, and that's the only emergency shelter the police will give me. I'll be locked up for it. And our local city jails all over fill with people that have mental problems, or they're mentally retarded, they couldn't get a job, they're locked up, and they're caught in that vicious penal system in America. And again, check it out. It's mostly the African-American men that don't have adequate legal defense.
Right. And the whole system is designed for you to be, once you're released from prison, it's designed for you to be jobless and homeless so you can end up right back there.
You know, because you can't get welfare, you can't get food stamps, you can't
do
get
nothing.
state assistance.
No help. You know, and it's just and this stuff to me, it should be just like basic needs for our own people in this country. You know, it's like.
But you're talking about a country that sanctions the murder of unborn children. I mean, the next step is let's just euthanize the elderly. They're just useless eaters. Let's kill them too. That's the country you're dealing with.
It's just mind-boggling, you know, and I don't understand why a lot of other people aren't in an uproar when there's plenty of resources, and we got, you know, half of 40% of descendant slave children in this country will go to bed tonight hungry. As we're speaking, when
Yes.
we get off the phone and hang up tonight, they're going to go to bed hungry in the richest country in the history of the planet. And probably about 20% of white kids that live in rural America, they're going to go to bed hungry tonight.
right.
You know, but
And there's not a need for that. We got food going bad in warehouses. You know, you go behind any like the super Walmarts or all that. The dumpsters are filled with food. Now, granted, it might be out of date. You know, it might be damaged or something. But you know what? If you're sitting there on that bench and that belly of yours is grumbling, I think I could eat a sandwich that might have went bad today. You know what I mean?
a lot of that food they throw away, it don't go bad until it's out there in the dumpster.
Exactly.
You know, it's probably some BS rules they got to go by, you know, and all this other stuff, and they can't sell at a certain day. But the stuff is good, and there's some people out there that could use that food.
Right.
You know, it's just really sad. And when people see this stuff happen in their communities and they don't
that's a
speak
United-
up, you know, I just wish more
The
people.
United States has warehouses.
Of food.
The United States has warehouses, big warehouses in Kansas City area and other areas, underground caverns, that when there's a great abundance of food, they buy them right there. They have milk, cheese, and all kinds of things that they're storing there. And that the food stamp program was to help alleviate some of that. Now they're cutting back the food stamp program.
Yep.
The latest thing is that the Trump administration wants to cut back and totally eliminate LIHEAP, the Low Income Energy Assistance Program. They want to totally do away with it. President Trump tried that last year in the budget. He's trying it this year. He's trying to eliminate all kinds of housing assistance and other programs. At the same time, he's doing that on a federal level. The city of St. Louis has no shortage of money when it comes to keeping the Rams here.
Yes.
No shortage of money when it comes to Amazon here. And no shortage of money when it comes to having a soccer stadium. When it comes to building affordable housing, when it comes to having shelters. And New Life, by the way, never received any city, state, or federal dollars. We just want it to be left alone and let us do what God called us to do and take care of the homeless. But again, these evil people, they don't want them around the neighborhood. So where is the outcry?
And let's just go to that. It's evil people. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people in our government who are straight up Satanists. They worship Lucifer. They want to kill your baby on the altar of darkness and evil. They want to kill them physically, they want to kill them psychologically, and they want to kill them spiritually. And guess what, folks? They're doing a great job doing it. They're doing a great job. We have folks running around this planet or this country right now building Baphomet statues in state houses. And for those that don't know what Baphomet is, that is a depiction of Satan on top of a throne with a lamb bottom, a distorted torso, and wings. And he has various hand signals, all right? They do this because they're a part of this ritual. Everything they do is a ritual. They do it in our face. They let us know what they have planned for us. And I'm telling you guys, what they have planned for us is a bunch of misery. Because the Reverend asked us, where's the outrage? The reason why there's no one out in the streets, people are up in their houses right now with their little cable and their little food, and they're not
And that
suffering.
iPhone.
Right. But once that electricity gets cut off,
Yep.
once that cell phone gets cut off and that food gets cut off, you're going to see people on the streets, but it'll be in the wrong way. It's
Right.
going to be in the wrong way.
And it's not going to be like you haven't been warned. And it's just really sad,
Yeah.
you know.
You know, Reverend's been warning
The
people.
silence is violence. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Silence is violence.
So,
People are remaining silent. It's resulting in violence.
right. So why do you think it's part of the reason why when the city allowed these corporations to do this stuff, why the people in these communities don't say anything?
Because they feel like they're wasting their time. They feel it won't do any good. They feel same reason people don't vote. What difference will my voice make?
Right. Yeah.
The sense of fatalism.
Yeah, they're defeated. They're already defeated psychologically. If I can get you to think that you can't do nothing, you would not even get out of bed this morning.
That's right. Well, that pretty.
And that's what they've done. They've done that in our school systems. Look, they got it twisted. If you look at the Ten Commandments, right? If you were to follow the Ten Commandments, you would actually be poor. But if you don't follow the Ten Commandments, you go out there, kill people. You go out there, you steal from people. You go out there, you cheat and connive people. You're going to become filthy rich. And they got our minds so twisted to believe that if I'm not wealthy, I'm not good. God doesn't favor me. That's how they got it. today. We got to change that. You know, last time I checked, Jesus didn't own no big castle. He didn't own no property. He didn't have a title that Caesar gave him. You got this little palace over here.
Right.
It's not about the money, folks. It's about how much wealth you have in your spirit and in yourself. That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's a little mind-boggling how people are today. Like, it's like how you just not acknowledge this stuff that's going on. But I guess, you know, some people live in their own reality, and you know, I get it. It can be depressing at times, but you know, if nobody says anything and just keep their head in the sand like an ostrich does, then this is exactly what happens. The wealth from the people get usurped, and that's exactly what's happening. You know, all you got to do is look at read Trump's tax plan. It tells you, oh yeah, you're gonna get a little bit back on your check now,
Right.
but when you go file those 2024 taxes, you're going to be paying that money back in tenfold. Because those tax cuts for the lower 99% aren't permanent. But for the top 1% in these corporations,
It's permanent.
those tax breaks are permanent, and the peasants got to pay for that.
And it's funny because we're all about corporate subsidies. But for the individual, it's staunch individualism.
Yeah.
You know, we can't help the individual, but those corporations, boy, every tax dollars, give them.
Yeah, I don't mind my money going to help out somebody that need it. I don't want my money going to Walmart.
So, Reverend, what can the average citizen do to help this problem?
So I want to encourage everybody to pray. Really, you know, not being facetious in this, it's so very important. I mean, we saw the great love revolution that took place in the 50s and 60s under the leadership of Dr. King. People of faith that faced impossible odds. We need such a love revolution at this particular time. I mean, people are willing to bring the issues to the public, break it down. That's the whole thing. Right now, they're so fuzzy and they're so muddy, and the system and the power brokers like to keep it that way to the point we feel like we're totally broken. So what we got to do is we got to see, okay, this is a result of predatory land,
Speculation.
This is a result of that predatory land speculation. We have victims before us because of such predatory land speculation. We are going to have to stand up to such what they call revitalization. It's nothing but gentrification.
Yes.
We're going to have to start demanding that they stop giving tax abatements, which they do all the time in St. Louis City Hall, to big businesses, while the taxes go up on average citizens that own home in this city. And the schools have been totally destroyed in the city of St. Louis because of the major giveaway. You walk in downtown St. Louis, there's not a single building there that has not gotten tax abatement. When the Cleve Gas, who had to change his name to Fire, they moved up like 100 yards, and they got a major tax abatement. All over St. Louis County, they get this. All over the state of Missouri. Poor people are paying a bigger tax burden. You can let a cry out over that. They shut down the last major walk-in shelter in Mid-America, 1411 Locust. We're fighting to get it back open. Public outcry for that. People can donate so we can continue to keep going. I mean, we've got tremendous needs. We're trying to help people that are in need. We had people this morning couldn't pay the utility bills that were here. They can go to nlecstl.org, and they can give through the PayPal system. They can put NLEC TV on their phone. They can we can work together on this, and we can make a big difference. But right now, they got us right where they want us, where they'll let shelters open in communities until the gentrification takes place. Rich folks move in, and they got to shut them down. Then they move them to poor communities like the Biddle House and Carr Square. Yep. Don't let the people say nothing about it there, and treat poor African-American people as second-class citizens. They're doing it just as much now as they did in the past. They'll let you sit anywhere you want on the bus now. But when it comes to where you live, if you don't have a lot of money in your pocket, they want you out of sight and out of mind.
It's called redlining. It's still going on. It's still, there's a big church. No, there's a huge mega church right out there. I'm looking at the direction. I'm facing north right now.
It's
right
one off of Gravois.
Yeah,
and,
right.
You can see it.
I'm talking about the one right there that you said off Gravois, Highway 30. Joyce Myers. All right. Has Reverend Joyce Myers, Reverend Rice, has she offered to give the New Life any type of financial help?
She did in the past until I spoke out against the wealth that was there. And we haven't gotten anything probably for the last 10 years. Okay.
Okay. No, this is my
It's
point.
another one off of Highway
We got a
7
man
too.
on the line right now, True Powers hotline right now, that is greater, in my opinion, than that boy down there in Texas, Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
When that when the flood came
Yeah,
through.
Joel
Oh, all
Osteen.
right, you can't come to my church, all right?
Yeah.
He's better than T.J. Blake's over here. He ain't sitting here, no sex scandal. You know, this man has helped all these homeless people. Never heard nothing bad about this man.
Right.
Here. All right? Give to Larry Rice, is what I'm saying. Give to this man. Because he is actually a soldier for God. And what I mean by soldier, he's not trying to conquer nothing other than the poverty that's out there in the streets.
Right.
All right? That's what I'm saying. This man here actually puts the money. He's not buying brand new cars or big houses with this money. He's giving it to the people. And you know what really burns me up? He had just told us that they spent over $1 million in legal litigation funds, right? How much of that money, how much help could he have given poor people with that $1 million? Those judges and lawyers don't need that money. You know, he could have given that money to the poor.
Right.
And he would have if it was in his possession.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, Reverend Rice, have anybody like approach you or anything about buying that building, that facility on Locust?
No, they'd love to give us but they want to give you there's constant pressure on that. They'd love to just shove us out and have some developer come in and get it. But no, we're not going anywhere because where else? Number one, they won't. Where else are we going to go? People are, and number two, the city of St. Louis. It's many, many millions of dollars every year, federal dollars that it distributes to those agencies that never speak out against it. They'll give millions of dollars to Biddle House, St. Patrick's Center, and other agencies, but they're not going to speak out against it at all. But they'd love to. But so all the homeless are down there getting whatever help they can there. They have to have a place to sleep at night. They have a place to go. This is the only place that's there that's independent. We're going to continue to keep it open
As much as possible.
Yeah,
we have to.
Yeah,
And he needs our help, folks. He
Yes.
needs your dollars. You know
Yes.
what I mean? But more importantly than your dollars, he needs your prayers. Seriously, he needs your prayers.
True.
You know, because as we talked, we had the people from the Unarius Academy of Science. Now, they're not a Christian organization. But what they're talking about as far as energy is true. When you get on your knees and you pray, you're sending out energy into the universe. That energy is being harnessed with others like-minded, and it's being redirected back at us. Yep. Now, the reason why we're in the shape that we're in, obviously, someone hasn't been doing enough praying. Or else the people who are wanting to do bad are doing more praying than what we're doing. All right? We got to change this. Once we change our hearts, we can change our minds. Once we change our minds, then we change what we do with our hands.
That's right.
Instead of smacking people around, put out that hand to help that person up. That's all I'm saying.
You know, it's just it's really crazy. You know, nothing like having hunger pains. You know, and it's
I mean, I know we're getting to the last 10 minutes of the show, but real quick, I want to ask you this question here, Reverend. Nowadays, a lot of young people are underneath the pressures to not basically take up the Christian faith, be defenders of the faith for various reasons. You know, a lot of people will cite the King James Version of the Bible is not complete. And a lot of times when you discuss that with these people, they'll start off at the beginning. Well, how can you have Adam and Eve with 3 sons, well, 2 sons, and then once Abel dies, they get Seth. But with 2 sons, who are they mate with? Who do they procreate with to make more humans? You know, when you read it, just as the King James Version puts it out there, you only have Adam, Eve, and the boys. Well, who are they going to mate with? Eve? You know what I'm saying? So
okay. Well, first of all, we can spend hours going through all the way through the Bible and respond to these different kinds of things like this. I spend probably a couple hours a day in the Word because it's just so powerful. Have been reading through the Bible once a year for the last 20 years. I just find it to be such a powerful instrument for daily living. But I can understand why people have. You read the secular media and you find out how evangelical Christians support Donald Trump. Well, that makes enough to anybody turned off toward evangelical Christians.
right.
Just because they use that name evangelical and they use the name Christian doesn't mean that they're following Jesus Christ. But when you study the life of Jesus Christ and you study it independently with an open mind, you're going to find the world's greatest revolutionary. You're going to find somebody who's so transformed the system. They got A, D, and BC is what they call it. You're going to find somebody so revolutionary that they didn't know what to do with him. The system put him to death.
Mm-hmm.
But over 500 people saw him after he rose from the dead. It's mind-blowing, and so is every time you plant a seed in the ground and it comes out and grows into a tree or a flower, whatever it is.
Right.
The whole system is. So you stand back and you take a look at this, and you take a look at the universe, and you see if there's a greater power out there, and you pick this book up and try to disassociate yourself from all the bigotry that's been directed at us for 2,000 years, and all the things people say about it, and all the things people do, and all the hypocrites that are church, and you just study the life of Jesus Christ, and you got an evidence that's going to demand a verdict that truly this man came, lived, and died. Then you start praying and you start living a life by faith, and that's what enables me to get up every morning. That's what enables me to take on this system like we're fighting. That's why we spent $500,000 on legal fees, and that's why we're continuing to fight in every way possible, because I know that those that remain steadfast to the end shall be saved. I know that the day is going to come, and I know we're going to win.
Yes.
But we can't give up. Too many people are giving up.
Right. And, you know, and let's be honest, Reverend. You know, you being a Caucasian male, all right, in this society, you had, you know, kind of a benefit. You know, you didn't have to do this. And what I'm ultimately saying is you could have chose the other way. You know, you could have been just as hateful, probably ended up down there as an alderman or something in St. Louis if you was like that, making tons of money, robbing and cheating. But you know, that's why I have to take off my hat to you, because you're a stand-up man. You're a stand-up guy, because you're standing up for what is right and what is truthful. And I appreciate that.
A lot of white folks hate me for it, okay?
Yeah. No, we had Jane Elliott.
Because
We had Jane Elliott on the show earlier this month, all right? And she told us the story, you know, once she started, the experiment, blue-eye, brown-eye experiment, and her neighbors, you know, caught wind of this, you know, oh my gosh, she's messing up a good thing. Well, it's not a good thing. White supremacy is not a good thing. And we're all are touched by it in a negative and positive way. Every last one of us. It has to come to an end. That has to come to an end for us to progress. If not, we're going to be 200 years still dealing with the same problems.
No, we ain't going to be here.
Yeah, well, we won't. Yeah.
And none of us going to be here. They going to kill us all off as a species in general. You know, that, to me, that's what it seems like they plan is. Go ahead.
Yeah, people have to stop. Okay, first of all, there's an awful lot of African Americans that I see bought off.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're silent with money. They're given positions. I saw it when I was in Jefferson City.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it when I go talk to African American legislators, that when they were elected, the people, I didn't see them representing them. I didn't see them standing up to the people that are in need. And I had them come to me and tell me, well, you know, if you could give us Super Bowl tickets like these guys do, maybe we'd be able to pass your stuff, you know.
Wow.
I just hear this stuff and I see it, and it's just really, really sickening. And so, that's why I think Bruce Franks is standing up, and I think that's why he's so different, because he's not just carrying on in Jeff City. He's going out to the streets, and he's taking a lot of heat for it. And we need to see a lot of legislators that do that. We need to see ministers stand up. I need to see more ministers stand up like we did this winter that took people into their homes, like we saw churches do that. We need to see people go hit the streets and go out on and do it. And yes, as far as so many, even middle-class African-American people are just like middle-class white folks. It's down to a money thing. If you don't got it, the golden rule has become him who's got the gold makes the rules.
Yep.
All of us, whether we're black, white, whoever we may be, we're talking about basic human need. We're talking about people that are in need. We have no excuse. We should not be bought out, sold out. Let's stand up for what is right, and let's do it for God's sake.
Yes, and our own sakes. You know, we all have babies out here. I mean, a lot of us, some people don't have children, but I certainly have my fair share. You know, we need to do this for the kids. We need to keep this planet right, not polluted, not, chop down every tree in sight, not kill every animal in sight, because we need to leave something for the next generation. And what I'm seeing now, you mentioned
some form.
He mentioned evangelistic. There's a certain group in that concept that wants the Book of Revelation to be fulfilled now. They want to build a temple over there so the Antichrist go up in the temple, have his blasphemy, and Christ will come down. The new city from Jerusalem will come down from the sky too with the 12 gates. But God doesn't need helpers. He doesn't. He created this whole universe. He don't need you to help. He needs for you to understand your place within the organization. And that's what a lot of people are not digging. They don't want to be on this level. They want to be on this level. And they'll lie and cheat to get up high.
Yeah, but I know. It's amazing, how they act like they're Christians on Sunday, but then Monday through Saturday.
They're everything but. Everything but. And if you want to be a Christian, then you have to start with caring. In other words, if you're a Christian, and let's say that you're not a Christian, you stole from me, you stole something from me. If I'm a true Christian, I'm supposed to give you my shirt because I'm supposed to recognize you're in need. You're in such need that you got to steal from me. Then let's get you right, brother. Instead of, oh, you bum, you need to get up and tie your bootstrap, get a job. You know, Mr. Rice, Larry Rice has said something. And when you're dealing with racism, you can have all the degrees you want. You can have all the training you want. When you go down there to that job and you got a racist person you're dealing with, you're not going to get the job. So if you don't get the job, then what? Where are you going to eat? How are you going to eat? How are you going to pay your bills?
Right.
How are you going to do this?
I know. It's crazy. Well, I want to say thank you, Reverend, for coming on the show. Once again, tell the people where they can find you if they want to make donations or volunteer or
anything
or need services. Where can they find you at again?
Go to nlecstl.org. That's nlecstl.org. That's New Life Evangelistic Center.org. Or also get the app for NLEC TV. Put that on your phone, NLEC TV, and be kept up with the issues as they happen.
Well, thank you, Reverend, and we're looking forward to seeing you March 9th for the Feed the Homeless campaign.
We probably go later on the month.
Yeah, well, we're gonna we're gonna get in contact with your people. We're gonna come out. The other morning show is gonna be bringing food, and the New Life Evangelistic Center and the other morning show is gonna work together, and we're gonna feed some people. We are gonna do that.
God bless you, and thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rice.
Yes. Larry Rice.
Reverend Larry Rice, man, been helping people in St. Louis
since
for
1971.
Yeah, I wasn't even born.
Well, I was born in the following year.
Yeah, so there you have it, folks. You know, it's big money. When they want your shit, they're gonna take it. And these crooked ass politicians are gonna fall right in line because they are corporate whores.
Yeah, and they're not gonna do nothing about it because of the fact that the bottom line is this here, folks. And Larry Rice has said it. If you don't have that green in your pocket, you're not even a human being.
Yep, and that don't matter what your color is.
It don't matter what your color is. you don't mean shit. That's it. That's just the reality.
So if you want to know where you stand at in this society,
look at your bank account.
Check your bank account.
My bank. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shooters in my bank account. You know, look, folks. What we got to get to after all the rhythm and song and dances. You want to live your life the way you live it. You want to be able to provide for your people. And you want to be able to enjoy life.
Yep.
Well, you won't be able to do that underneath this present system because this present system says that you don't even need to be up on this motherfucking earth to begin with.
Right.
Your ass needs to be gone.
Capitalism doesn't work if there isn't poor people.
It does not work. We got to exploit something.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, it's not personal. It's just business.
So if you want to help out the other morning show, you know what to do. Send stuff into the P.O. Box. That's P.O. Box 133, DeSoto, Missouri, 63020. You got questions or ideas, you can send them you can email us at theothermorningshow17@gmail.com. We also got the Patreon up, and that's at patreon.com/DimebagTV. And I just want to say thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate the new subscribers. I think True Power Mind's got something to say.
Yeah, before we go, because I didn't say it in the beginning, I don't know why. I'm so sorry. I want to thank Greg from DePaul. I don't know. Thank you for your $40 donation. Sarah from Jacksonville. Thank you for your $25 donation. Andrew.
You need to get a notebook pad, man.
I know. I got it over here. Well, Andrew, Greg, Todd, and Jill, thank you for your $10 donation to the Other Morning Show. We appreciate you guys a bunch. And this has been the Other Morning Show.
I'm Dimebag Darling.
True Power is mine.
And don't talk back to the police, you might get popped.
Peace.
I gotta cut this stuff off. That camera's still going over there.
All right. Let me finish this.